Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy V for Job Fiesta. Let's get the treasure that we couldn't get last episode. We got wiped out by the Pantera monster. We made our save. Now we're going to encounter the other monster that could potentially pop up here. So, the Invisible, the Ninja. Like the Pantera, he can do a split, but he won't split into three. He'll just have like a shadow image. But we can bypass that with magic and with the GP toss. So, he's not as, I don't think he's as bad as the Pantera because he doesn't have the instant death spell like the Pantera does. He does have some Wind Slash there that deals some decent amount of damage, but it's not like instant death like how the Pantera was spamming that blaster spell. So, overall, I think this guy's a little bit easier, but it doesn't matter, either one you can defeat. Neither of them are in the bestiary, so probably because, like I said, this is the only times you can run into them. It's like basically either or. You can't defeat both of them, so because once you defeat one of them, the chest is locked. I mean, it was open forever. So we get a Rising Sun, which is a boomerang weapon, good for ninjas and thieves. I'll make a quick save here. Just make our save, and because we got to go farm, we got to farm another enemy. We ran into it earlier. But we didn't get to defeat it because we ran away with a chicken knife. It's the Toad Avis, and it's a really annoying bird enemy. Has a lot of hit points, so not as annoying as the big bird enemy that we encountered on the sea a few episodes ago, but still this bird is really annoying. So it just has so many hit points and takes so long to defeat. So yeah, basically a big hit point, or damage sponge they call it, when it just can take so much damage. And so, but I'm just gonna farm it in here. You can run into it basically anywhere in the dungeon, but I don't want to go too far to the beginning, because that's usually run into more of those sorcerer type exclusive enemies. Forget what they're called. But they look like the little druid enemies, because they have the level 5 death spell, and unfortunately right now 3 of our characters are level 35, so it's just one spell they can wipe out 75% of our characters. Only Lena's would survive because she's I think level 32. But here's the Toad Avis, so definitely don't want to attack it with a chicken knife wielding character at all, because we don't want to flee, we actually want to defeat this enemy, so it might be a good idea to put armor on our 2 frontline characters. We moved Angels to the back row, just to increase his survivability. So, yeah, this guy can hit pretty hard, so it's okay to chuck on some extra armor there with the armor spell. One thing is this guy, he's very resistant to, like, the charm. So I was never able to charm him with the charm song from the bard. So that makes this a little bit more difficult. You could charm him, maybe just use that beak ability on himself, like how the big bird did, but he can't really charm him, so we just petrified Lena. We'll bring her back. We have to buy some more soft potions, we're running low on them. So there still might be some stone enemies you want to throw them at later on, so. There we go. Back on her feet. And back on her feet, and we just have to slowly whittle away. It's always nice when Carrie gets that critical hit rate. So, thinking of the katana was supposed to have a pretty good critical hit rate back in the first Final Fantasy, but that's because they messed up the coding in that game. The higher the weapon was, or the higher it was on the table, the weapon table, higher the critical rate was. Like the Mage had the highest critical rate, then Excalibur, and then your katana. Ninja exclusive item. So, katanas here can be basically used by ninjas and samurais, and anyone who might win that might get the quick katana ability, which I think is the one ability of the samurai. Yeah, I think it's the samurai's ability. Not sure if it's the samurai or the ninjas. It's not. I know it's not their ultimate ability. Usually, like their weapon is usually the ultimate ability and the last ability you learn. Like knights learn equip sword, black wizards, I think, learn equip rods. White wizards equip staves. But ninjas is dual wield. They can wield a weapon in both hands, and for our samurai, it's a slash spell, which is like an all-hit target that can cause instant death. So it's like Science level 8 technique, and from Final Fantasy 6. That's probably where they got the inspiration for it from. It charges up, and basically you take a turn to charge it, and then you run across the screen and knocks you out, tries to kill all the enemies. Almost like Odin's instant death thing that Zantetsu technique they use, that cuts you in half, or they use it on enemies. We were back in Regal. We want to grab this ribbon from this girl. So she didn't have it earlier because she was still looking for the ribbon, but I guess on the world's merge she managed to find the ribbon, and now she's happily going to give it to us because, hey, we're fighting X-Death. So, but we're never going to use it. We're actually just going to sell it to this guy who's right next to her. We'll finally give it that healing staff because yeah, we can't equip ribbons. The only one who can equip ribbons are dancers. Anyone who has the equipped ribbon ability, which is, I think, the dancer's final ability learned, and then the freelancer if you mastered the dancer job. You know, that person at the beginner house said, you know, hey, freelancers and mimes can be the best jobs when you master other jobs because they inherit all the mastered skills of jobs. So town to the east disappeared in the darkness. Is this village next? I'm so scared. What are you always beeping me? Always beeping my dad, I mean. I go in the weapon shops looking for a ribbon. These people are still hung up on, the kids are still hung up on the Mughals. And, well, we've already been to that castle in the south. We'll be going back there again this episode to unlock some new, 3 new weapons. We're going to get the Excalibur. That's the only one we're going to really use. And with the Excalibur, we're able to kind of basically take out the X-Death Soul, that one monster that appeared. He's pretty tough, but he is weak to Holy. And Excalibur is a Holy Sword, so we'll do extra damage. So, let's go talk with this last guy over here. He's telling us monsters outside the village. Yeah, we already know that, so let's pick up some of those items that we need. We'll stack up on our high potions. For the next elemental dungeon, we're going to definitely need a lot of healing, so I want to pick up some ethers too. Get those soft potions. We're using a lot of them. And we'll just try to put our status removing items back at 15, as they were earlier. Oh, I like that number. It's divisible by 3, and 3 is my daddy's favorite number. So he likes to organize things in groups of 3. So that's why I guess maybe he has 3 rats. Me, my brother Bob, and Princess Guinevere. So, alrighty. Well, let's hop on our airship, and we got all the sea enemies a few episodes ago. We only have 3 more land enemies to go. So, since we're gonna go to Kuzar Castle and get that X-Death Soul, we might as well get the last 3 sand. I said sand because I just saw the sand thing on the sandstorm on there, or quicksand this guy used. I might as well get these 3 enemies. They can appear around the Istri Falls area. And this guy only appears in the forest. So, hang out in the forest and take him out. You know, just walk around in the plains, and that's where we can get the other 2 enemies. One of them is a dragon, but he's a tiny dragon. He's like those the mini dragons from World 1 around Istri. So we'll get to see the power of Apollo's harp, the one that does effective damage against dragons, extra damage against dragons. So we'll definitely end up equipping that harp on to Angels, who's our bard right now. So don't want to walk into the forest. I've been walking into it. I ran into one of these new enemies, this one actually before, but I cut it out because I ran away with the chicken knife, so... Where's the blizzard ox? So... We don't want to hit them with Faris's ice sword. If you do, it will heal them. So, weak against fire, so... Do damage. And it ran away! Not that Faris would have been able to kill it, because like I said, it absorbs ice, and Faris has that ice brand sword. So it actually heal. That's a combination you can do, like if you have a character that has a, like say one of those rings that absorb a thing or element, or a shield, or a piece of armor, and then you attack yourself with the elemental thing, that's how you can heal yourself. So, and here's our last thing, it's Doritos. Not to be confused with Doritos, always colored like a Dorito. Daddy gave me some Doritos one time. Yeah, that herb takes him out in one shot, because like I said, it does 4 times damage, normal damage to dragon enemies, so that will be really good. Alright, now let's head down to Kuzar Castle, unlock 3 more weapons. Like I said, the only one we can really, well, we can also use the assassin dagger, but that pales in comparison to the chicken knife, and the assassin dagger isn't good against undead enemies. Undead enemies, if they're hit with an instant death spell or instant death ability, it basically heals them up to 100% health. And the next elemental dungeon that we're going to is only full of undead monsters. So it wouldn't be really good there. So, although Excalibur will be good because they're weak to holy. Undead is weak to holy and fire usually. And we're not going to equip Excalibur right away because the upcoming boss that Faris is going to fight absorbs holy, so it actually heal him. But that's good because right before that they give you another pretty powerful sword. But we'll see that in the next episode. So we'll be heading off to the Fork Tower, that tower that appeared above the catapult where Sid is trapped now. We couldn't get in there, but remember when we got the second tablet, it broke the seal on the Fork Tower. So we'll go to the Fork Tower in the next episode, which is kind of a short but can be annoying dungeon, especially for non-heavy magic parties like ours. Yeah, the one boss is going to take a while. So here we go, we pick up the Excalibur. But it's a dungeon that, well no, you don't have to do this dungeon, but if you have to do the dungeon, the Fork Tower, if you want to get all the elemental dungeons and unlock all the sealed weapons, because, well, I'm not going to spoil it, but look at the Excalibur, there's quite a big boost there to Faris's attack power, 90 more attack points. We'll just see how powerful it is against when we fight that X-Death Soul. And I'm going to farm in here now. So I just grabbed, like I said, the Fire Brute, the Whip, and then the Sage's Staff. Can't use either of that. Well, I can use the Sage's Staff, but that's not really going to help any of the spells that the Red Wizard cast. Basically boost your Holy Spell, which is the ultimate white magic, which we will learn back in the Fork Tower that we're going to be going to soon. But only a white wizard can use that spell. And yeah, it's too high level. It's a level 6 spell. That's too high level. The red mage can only use up to level 3 spells in the black and white magic schools. So this guy unfortunately had to ambush us. Even though he's level 1, he's really good at dodging. So, a lot of attacks are going to miss. But when we do hit, especially Faris, we're going to do a lot of damage. So, it's too bad he, unfortunately, he ambushed us. So we had to waste that turn, get back into the correct position. Hey, exiled to the collective dimension. Not really. Unlike Gilgamesh, who was exiled to the collective dimension, it just knocks us, our characters out, down to 0 hit points. We'll be going to the collective dimension a little bit later, actually. By accident, so spoiler. So that the entrance to that is the Tycoon Castle area. So that big black hole that appeared where Tycoon Castle used to be. All you have to do is just fly into that, and it'll warp you. But luckily, it's not a one-way trip. You can leave, and I'll show you how to do that. Look at the damage, almost half the health of X-Death Soul. X-Death Soul, with just one hit Excalibur, so... Unfortunately, we're not hitting off that often, but this is why this battle's going pretty long. It's not going to be as long as another battle, though. Yeah, we're not going to have fun next episode. Yeah, I recorded a little bit in advance, just, you know, get ready for stuff, so... In case something pops up tomorrow, you know, not that I don't really have much to do being a rat, but, you know, sometimes I just want to, you know, chill out and take naps and don't really want to, you know, play video games and comment on them, so in that case, I'll just, you know, take a day off. So, well, I'm going to be busy. Daddy said I got to do 2 videos coming up. It's going to be Prince Ernie Day on Friday. It's also Coast Guard Day, which apparently is the day that my dad takes my brother Spartacus to the Coast Guard celebration, the base that he works at, and he gets to eat food. He gets to eat people food. Spartacus likes that. He's the most popular dog out there because he's usually the only dog there, but... I'm never on a Coast Guard Day. Well, I heard all about it. Spartacus tells me when Daddy's not here, he's like, I don't know why Daddy hates going to work. I love going to Daddy's work. I get to sniff deer and smell the field, and I get to eat people food, and everyone pets me, and I get to walk around and sniff new places. This is the entrance to the Collector Dimension. Basically all you have to do like this is touch the black hole there, and it'll suck you in. And our airship basically lands at a place, you have to undock. But if you want to leave the Collector Dimension, all you have to do is step away from the steering wheel, step back on the steering wheel, press A, and get warped back out. That's good. It's definitely not a one-way trip. And alright, so now we're going to fly down to the Fork Tower, and that's the dungeon that we'll be doing next episode. So, remember what they said. Magic on the left, power on the right. So, take care, see you then. Bye.